Hello, my name is Linda. I'm here tonight to introduce my daughter, Erica. I am very proud and overjoyed to say that she has recently celebrated 1 year sobriety, maybe 15 months. The years prior to Erica reaching out for help were a complete nightmare. There's just no other way to describe it. I couldn't sleep at night wondering where she was, who she was with, or actually knowing who she was with was another nightmare on a whole other level. What is she doing? Is she in danger? Will I hear from her? Will she answer my call or text? What is she taking? Will she die? Will she be a statistic? What is wrong with her? Where did this come from? Is she thinking about her family, her son, her 2 daughters? Is she going to miss Stephen's entire high school years, helping him with college essays? How about Ava's communion or Gia becoming a teenager? Is she going to miss all of her children's milestones? How is this nightmare going to end? I've dealt with the death of a spouse, my father's death, and I wondered if I could survive the death of a child. With countless family members reaching out to Erica without success, I staged an intervention. If you know Erica, she comes from a very close, typically close, Italian family from South Philly. She's everyone's daughter, granddaughter, niece, cousin, sister. Everyone was eager to participate, including her son Stephen, who was 14 at the time, and he's here tonight. The intervention was successful to a point. It was successful to the point that we got her to rehab for 3 weeks. Day 1 of her return, back with the same people, same lies, same everything. Disappointment is an understatement. Back to the worrying, the nightmares, the anger. Then came the therapy, Al-Anon, taking her children to Al-Anon, learning about addiction, understanding the addict, or at least trying to. The praying, the pleading, the rosaries, the lighting of the candles, reaching out to her beloved grandfather who recently passed away, anybody, I was asking to please help Erica. But whatever it was, on that glorious day in May of 2018, when she reached out to her Aunt Lois, who picked her up, brought her to Miramont, and then on to MVP. When Erica first told me about MVP and her excitement at being selected, it gave me hope, but I was also cautiously optimistic. I so did not want to feel that disappointment and discouragement a second time. My prayers were answered. Obviously, rehab was just not enough. 3 weeks and back to the wolves. It was just not enough. She needed a program. She needed rules, and she needed a program like MVP. I cannot thank Brian, Chrissy, or the MVP program enough for returning my beautiful daughter to me, and the devoted mother back to her children. I think the MVP, the M in MVP, should stand for miraculous. I was at this event last year, listening to all the parents introducing their children. They all told a bit of my story. I kept shaking my head. Yep, that's how I feel. Yep, that's me. Yep, that's Erica. And I also remember telling Erica that night that I hope we both get back here next year so that we can tell her story of success. So I hope tonight, if there's any new parents here, that you gain a sense of hope. This program is the real deal. If the addict wants to start a new and clean chapter, MVP will provide the opportunity and the tools. I don't like to throw the word miracle around, but for Erica, I know it was a miracle, divine intervention, and her determination. I'm sure you can see how determined she can be. She always was, and I know she is determined to stay on this very positive path, rebuild relationships, and help others. I couldn't be more proud tonight to introduce you to my daughter, Erica.
I'm Erica. I'm an addict alcoholic. My sobriety date is February 22nd, 2018. My journey to recovery began 15 months ago when I walked into the doors of Miramont Treatment Center. At that point in my life, I had completely isolated, pushed everyone away who loved and cared about me, and I was okay with that. I was extremely hopeless, depressed, riddled with anxiety, and just completely lost. I knew I needed help, but was just too ashamed and scared to ask for it, until I began to pray for somebody or something to help me gain the strength I need to take that step and to finally stop feeling the way I did for so many years. Well, that help finally came the day I decided to get honest and surrender and go to treatment. Later would I find out that was my higher power doing for me what I couldn't do for myself, giving me the strength and willpower I needed to get better. Sorry, shouldn't cry. When I was at Miramont, I took it very serious and decided to listen, participate in all they had to offer, and take all their suggestions. One of those suggestions was to go to a recovery house afterward. My counselor Billy told me about MVP, and at first I wasn't into it, but a week later I said yes. At the time I didn't know anything about being in recovery, but if this is what they were suggesting, then I was going to do it. I figured, what's a year out of my life to be able to work on myself, change my behaviors, and be able to be there for my children and family for the rest of my life. When I got to MVP, I was a little nervous, but I liked it right away. I knew it was what I needed to change my life, and it did. I was there for 11 months, and I completed the program, and I made some of the most amazing friends that I've ever had. Genuine, loving, caring friends that, I could be myself in front of, and I felt like I finally fit in somewhere. I went back to school. I just finished my first semester. I'm able to be a good mother today. I got my own apartment. I'm generally happy, which I never thought was possible without a drink or a drug. I never thought it was possible to naturally be happy. And I'm extremely grateful for MVP and proud to be a part of this community. I just want to thank Brian and Chrissy, Mary, my family, the entire MVP and AA community for helping me, become the person that I am today. Thank you.